11.2 Surface area of prisms and cylinders. So let's just start off with some very basic vocabulary so we get accustomed to dealing with the three-dimensional shapes. A prism is a polyhedron with two congruent parallel faces. The bases are the two parallel faces of the prism, and lateral faces are the other faces of the prism. The altitude is a perpendicular segment that joins the planes of the bases. We also know altitude to be height. So if we were to label our picture, the following labels would be placed. So the following marks are what we have. We've got our bases on the top and bottom, our lateral edge, and our lateral face. A cylinder is a solid that has two congruent parallel bases that are circles. The bases are the two parallel circles. And the altitude, again, is the perpendicular segment that joins the planes of the bases. So our two bases are our parallel circles at the top and bottom, so we can label those. And this piece here on the side is our altitude, This will be our height for our cylinders. When we're calculating surface area, lateral area, and volume later on down the road, that's the measurement we'll use. Keep in mind that this measurement here is the radius of your base. A quick run through for right and oblique prisms. When you think of a right prism, just understand that the height of the prism is going to be perpendicular to the base edge of the shape. So in this case, for your right prisms, your faces are all just regular rectangles. That means the sides meet at right angles. For the oblique prism, your height is generally going to be outside your shape, and that your lateral faces are not going to be rectangular. They're going to be more parallelogram shaped. For right and oblique cylinders, for a right cylinder, you have a perpendicular height, whether that be a horizontal perpendicular height or a vertical perpendicular height. The height is straight up and down, and the cylinder appears to go straight up and down. Where an oblique cylinder appears to have a slant, it's kind of leaning over to one side or the other, and the height is generally going to be outside of the shape itself. Lateral area. Lateral area is the sum of the areas of the lateral faces in a prism or the lateral surface of a cylinder. Surface area is that lateral area we found of the figure originally, plus the area of the two bases. So lateral area is just the area around the side. Surface area is both the area around the side and the top and bottom bases as well. Here we're introduced to the formulas for lateral area and surface area. For lateral area, we're going to take perimeter of the base times the height of the figure. So you take the perimeter of your base multiplied by the height of your figure, and you've got lateral area. To find surface area, you're going to take the lateral area plus 2 times the area of one base. So the lateral area plus 2 times the base area equals your surface area. What is the surface area of the figure at the right? So in order to find the surface area, I'm going to start off by finding the lateral area first. Lateral area being perimeter of the base times the height of the figure. So to find the perimeter of our base, we're going to take, well, we've got 4 and 3 and 4 and 3 because we're looking at the perimeter of the bottom squared or rectangle, I guess in this case, here. So 4 plus 3 plus 4 plus 3 gives us 14, so our perimeter is 14. And remember, our lateral area formula is perimeter times height. So in this case, we've got a perimeter of 14, and our height is the measurement we haven't used in this case, so 5. So 14 times 5 gives us a lateral area of 70 centimeters squared. Now that I know my lateral area, I can find my surface area as well. So surface area is lateral area plus 2 times the base area. Well, in this case, we know the lateral area is already 70, And then our base area, well, it's a rectangle, so is base times height, or in this case, length times width, 4 times 3, which is 12. So we've got 2 times 12. Well, that's 24. 70 plus 24 gives us a surface area of 94 centimeters squared. And that's our answer. This time we're looking for the lateral area and the surface area of the triangular prism. So our base is automatically going to be the triangles. So to find our lateral area, we're going to take perimeter times height. Well, problem here is to find the perimeter of a triangle, we're going to need to know the hypotenuse here. But we don't have that. Well, in order to find that, we would use our Pythagorean theorem. So 3 squared plus 4 squared equals our hypotenuse squared. Well, in this case, I know that this is a Pythagorean triple, so this should be 5 centimeters. So finding our perimeter now is pretty easy for us. Perimeter is going to mean add up all the sides of your triangle, so 3 plus 4 plus 5, which in this case gives us 12. So lateral area, 12 times the height of the figure, which is 6. So in this case, our lateral area is just 72 centimeters squared. Now we have to find our surface area. Well, surface area is just, remember, lateral area plus 2 times the base area. Well, the base area, we're finding the area of a triangle. So base area is 1/2 base times height. So in this case, 3 times 4. So that's 1/2 of 12, which gives us 6. So the base area is just 6. So we can finish out our surface area formula. Surface area equals our lateral area of 72 plus 2 times our base area. Well, 2 times 6 is 12. 12 plus 72 gives us a surface area of 84 centimeters squared. And that's it. This time we're looking for the lateral area and the surface area of a hexagonal prism. So we're going to have to use our understanding of regular polygons and how to find their area. So let's start by finding the lateral area. To find the lateral area, we need to find the perimeter of the base, which in this case the perimeter is just a hexagon. So that means it has 6 sides, and each of the sides is 6 meters. So that means this shape has a perimeter of 36 meters. The height of the prism is 12, so now we can find the lateral area. It's 36 times 12, which in this case, our lateral area is going to come out to be 432 meters squared. To find the surface area, we have to remember that we're taking lateral area plus 2 times the base area. Well, to find our base area, we're going to use our regular polygon area formula, which is 1/2 apothem times perimeter. Good thing they gave us the apothem here. It's 5.2. So we've got 1/2, 5.2 times our perimeter of 36, which gives us a base area of 93.6. So now we have everything we need. We got a lateral area, 432, plus 2 times the base area, which is 93.6. When you double 93.6, you get 187.2. You add that to 432, and you get the surface area to equal 619.2 meters squared. And that's it. Now we're introduced to the idea of finding lateral area and surface area for cylinders. The lateral area for a cylinder. The lateral area for a cylinder is 2 pi r times height, or you can do pi times diameter times height. So we're taking 2 pi times the radius times the height, or just pi times diameter times height. Surface area is very similar to that of the prism. It's lateral area surface area equals lateral area plus 2 times the base area. Or we can just think of it as 2 pi r h plus 2 pi r squared. So this is kind of a more streamlined way because you're dealing with radius throughout. But it's the same formula as what we saw for the prism. Now we're going to calculate the surface area for a cylinder. This cylinder has a radius of the base, the base of the cylinder has a radius of 4 inches, and the cylinder has a height of 6 inches. What is the lateral area and the surface area for the cylinder? So let's start by finding the lateral area. Well, the lateral area formula tells us we're taking 2 pi times our radius, which in this case is 4, times our height, which in this case is 6. We can go ahead and multiply together the 2, the 4, and the 6. So 2 times 4 is 8, times 6 is 48. So we've got 48 pi. You can leave your answer in terms of pi, or if you want to multiply it out, you can. And if you multiply it out, you get 150.8 inches squared, roughly. Now, let's find our surface area. Well, the surface area formula tells us to take lateral area plus 2 pi r squared, or 2 times the base area. So that means we would have the lateral area for ourselves already, and I'm going to use the one in terms of pi, plus 2 pi times our radius squared, which in this case is going to be 4 squared. 4 squared is 16. 16 times 2. Well, 16 times 2 is 32. So we've got 48 pi plus 32 pi, which in this case gives us a surface area of 80 pi. Or if we want to multiply it out, we get our total surface area to be about 251.3 inches squared. This time we're doing the same thing. We're finding the surface area and the lateral area for a cylinder. In this case, the radius of the base is 20, and the height of the cylinder is 9. So lateral area is going to be equal to 2 pi times our radius, which is 20, times our height, which is 9. So in this case, 2 times 20 is 40. 40 times 9 is 360. So we've got 360 pi. Or if we want to multiply it out, we'll get about 1,131 centimeters squared. So what we do with this is now we're going to take the lateral area, and we're going to use that to calculate the surface area. I'm going to use the one in terms of pi, so 360 pi plus 2 times the base area, or 2 pi r. So 2 pi times the radius squared. So the radius squared in this case, 20 squared happens to be 400. 400 times 2 is 800. So right now we've got 360 pi plus 800 pi. Well, when we add those together, and then multiply by pi, we get a total surface area of, we get 1,160 pi, or right around 3,644.2 centimeters squared. And so that becomes our surface area. Go ahead and try question 3 on your own. Keep in mind, you're only looking for what they're asking you to find. In this case, they want to know, what is the area in which the roller can cover in one roll? When rolling paint, think about it logically. You're not going to be using the bases. You wouldn't use the ends of the roller because that would be a weird way to paint. You're only using the distance around the roller. So that means you're looking for just your lateral area. So solve for lateral area. So the lateral area for this problem is found by taking pi times the, in this case, diameter times the height of the cylinder. So pi times 2.5 times 6 gives you 15 pi, or 47.1 inches squared. Go ahead and complete the wrap-up portion on your own, pause the video, and then check your answers when you're done. For the wrap-up, question 4, you should have come up with the surface area of 220 centimeters squared. When doing this problem, you had two approaches. If you use the bottom 10 by 4 rectangle to find your lateral area would have been 140 centimeters squared. But if you use the side rectangle of 4 by 5, your lateral area changes to 180 centimeters squared. Regardless of the method you used or whichever portion you used as your base, both answers give you the same, or both approaches give you the same surface area of 220 centimeters squared. For question 5, you're looking for the amount of paper needed to wrap the can or to create a label, and you don't want any overlap. So you're actually just looking for the lateral area. So in this case, you should have found the lateral area of the cylinder is either 13.5 pi or 42.39 inches squared.